You may be active, wise, and full of life. But some words you say without thinking might be painting a very different picture. And here's the truth. The way you talk influences how people see you and how you see yourself. There are phrases that make you sound older than your age, weaker than you feel, and even less confident than you actually are. And you might be using them daily without even realizing the damage they're doing. After 70, life doesn't stop. It transforms. But how we speak about ourselves, our abilities, and our future can either lift us up or slowly pull us down. Language is powerful, and certain phrases, especially those loaded with limiting beliefs, can change how others treat us and how we treat ourselves. In this video, we're going to look at 5 common phrases that you should stop saying after 70. And more importantly, what to say instead. These subtle changes can help you feel more confident, stay mentally sharp, be seen as capable and wise, and avoid falling into the "I'm too old" trap. Stay with us till the end, because the last phrase might be something you've said recently, and it may be affecting your energy and relationships more than you think. Let's begin. Phrase number 1. I'm too old for that. At first glance, it sounds innocent, even humble. But this single sentence has the power to lock you into a smaller life. Let's be clear. Yes, your body changes. Your energy shifts. But age alone is not a reason to stop living fully. When you say, I'm too old for that, here's what happens. You immediately limit yourself. You send a signal to your brain that you're declining. Others start believing you're fragile or incapable. And worst of all, you begin to believe it too. She's 72 and used to love dancing. But when invited to a friend's birthday party, she said, I'm too old for dancing like that now. So she sat on the sidelines, and the more she said it, the more disconnected and out of place she felt, even in joyful moments. Then there's Henry, 75. He was offered a free smartphone class at the community center. His response? I'm too old to learn new tech. So he didn't go. But a month later, he missed an important message from his daughter, simply because he couldn't navigate his phone. Now imagine if Carol said, I don't dance like I used to, but I still love music. Or if Henry said, I'm new to smartphones, but I'm open to learning. Those are empowering statements. They leave space for joy, growth, and connection. Why this phrase is so damaging? After 70, because it quietly reinforces a belief that you are declining, even if you're not, and your mind listens, your body follows. Studies have shown that seniors with positive beliefs about aging live longer and healthier lives, sometimes by as much as 7.5 years longer. That's the power of language. Instead of, I'm too old for that, try saying, that's new to me, but I'll give it a try. I may do it differently now, but I still enjoy it. I choose not to, but not because of my age. Words are seeds. Be careful what you plant, because it grows in how you live. Phrase number 2. My memory just isn't what it used to be. You might say it as a joke. You might say it with a laugh when you forget a name or misplace your glasses. But every time you speak this phrase, especially after 70, you reinforce a narrative that your brain is in decline. Here's the thing. Everyone forgets things. At every age. But when older adults say this often, it sends a subtle message to themselves and others. Don't expect too much from me. I'm not sharp anymore. Even worse, research shows that repeating negative beliefs about memory can actually make your memory worse. Yes, your words can become your reality. Let's look at Robert. He's 76 and often says, I'm getting forgetful these days. He laughs about it, but his grandchildren stopped sharing long stories with him, assuming he wouldn't remember. His daughter began double-checking everything he said, just in case. Little by little, he felt invisible, dismissed, and less trusted. Then there's Lena, 71. She used to say, my brain's slowing down. It's normal at this age. But then she joined a weekly brain fitness group. She started doing crossword puzzles, learning new songs, and playing memory games with her grandkids. She now says, "I forget things sometimes, but I'm keeping my mind active." And that shift in language, it brought her confidence back. Here's what science says. When people believe that memory decline is inevitable, they perform worse on memory tests, even if there's no actual cognitive decline. It's called stereotype threat, and it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you say your memory is failing, the more likely your brain will behave that way. Instead of saying, "I'm just getting forgetful," "I can't remember anything anymore," "My brain's not what it used to be," try, "Let me think, it'll come to me," "I'm keeping my brain active every day," "Sometimes I forget, but I'm still learning." Your brain needs encouragement, not discouragement. Speak to it with respect, and it will serve you better. One simple shift in language can protect your dignity, your clarity, and your relationships. Because your mind may age, but it still listens to your voice first. Phrase number 3. At my age, I can't complain. It sounds humble, like quiet gratitude. But this one phrase often hides a deeper problem. You're slowly silencing yourself. Many older adults say this with a soft smile, trying to show appreciation. But beneath the surface, it often means, "I don't want to bother anyone." Other people have it worse. "What I feel doesn't really matter anymore." The truth? It does matter. And when you tell yourself not to complain, you're sending a message that your voice no longer deserves space. Take Anna. She's 74. A few years ago, she lost her husband. She lives alone now, deals with joint pain, and sometimes feels forgotten. But whenever someone asked, "How are you?" she would always answer, "Oh, can't complain, I'm still here." She didn't want pity. She didn't want to seem weak. But over time, that phrase became her shield, and behind it, she felt invisible. Then there's George, 78. He also went through loss, pain, and isolation. But when his granddaughter asked how he was, he replied, "You know, I have hard days. I feel lonely sometimes, but I'm learning how to live with it, and talking to you helps more than you know." That wasn't complaining, that was honesty. That was emotional strength, not weakness. Why this phrase is harmful. When you constantly say, "I can't complain," people around you stop asking, stop listening, and stop offering support. Not because they don't care, but because you've unknowingly told them not to. And worse, you start believing you shouldn't expect comfort anymore. That's not aging gracefully. That's aging in silence. Instead of, "At my age, I can't complain." It is what it is. I'm fine, just taking it day by day. Try. Some days are hard, but I'm finding ways to cope. I have ups and downs, and I appreciate being asked. I'm grateful for what I have, but I still need connection. Strength isn't pretending everything's fine. Strength is speaking honestly, with dignity. Phrase number 4. I've made too many mistakes in my life. This one sounds reflective, as if you're simply acknowledging the past. But hidden behind this sentence is something deeper and more dangerous. A belief that your past defines your present. A quiet sense of shame or defeat. A feeling that it's too late to grow, to try again, or to be proud of who you are. Many people over 70 look back on missed opportunities, regrets, broken relationships, or things they wish they'd done differently. That's human. But when you start saying, "I've made too many mistakes," it creates a heavy cloud over everything you do now. Take Samuel, 76. He spent most of his life working and missed out on quality time with his kids. Now, in retirement, he often says, "I messed that part up. I can't make up for it." So instead of reaching out, he stays distant, believing he doesn't deserve a second chance. Then there's Darlene, 73. She struggled with finances in her 50s and felt she failed her family. Now, even when she wants to help or give advice, she says, "Don't ask me. I've made too many bad decisions." What happens next? People stop turning to her. She feels more isolated, even though she has wisdom to share. The truth is, everyone makes mistakes, and the older you are, the more chances you've had to make them. That doesn't make you broken. It makes you experienced. And here's what's powerful. Your life isn't measured only by what went wrong. It's measured by what you do with it now. Instead of saying, "I've made too many mistakes," "It's too late for me," "I don't have the right to speak," "I failed before," say, "I've learned a lot, and I'm still learning. I've made peace with the past. I'm focused on today. Yes, I've stumbled, but that's why I can help others now." Your mistakes don't make you weak. Hiding from them does. Owning your story with grace is one of the most powerful things you can do after 70. Phrase number 5. What's the point now? This is one of the most heartbreaking phrases you can say or hear. It's usually whispered during quiet moments, after a setback, or when life feels flat and directionless. At first, it might seem like acceptance, but underneath is something far more dangerous: hopelessness, resignation, a belief that your life no longer matters because you're older. This phrase doesn't just sound older and weaker, it invites the end before it's time. Let's talk about Ruth. She's 80, widowed, and lives alone. She used to love gardening, writing, and baking with her grandkids. But lately, when invited to join a new community group, she says, "What's the point? I'll forget things. I won't know anyone." So she stays home. And the more she stays home, the more tired and disconnected she feels, reinforcing the belief that her world has shrunk. Then there's Thomas, 77. He had dreams of traveling, learning guitar, and recording memories for his family. But after a minor surgery, he lost confidence and said, "I'm too old now. What's the point of starting anything?" So he didn't, and those dreams, still possible, stayed locked away. Why this phrase is so dangerous? Because the moment you stop believing your life matters, your energy begins to fade. Not because of age, but because hope is the fuel of life. And when you say, "What's the point?" your body, mind, and relationships begin to answer that question, often in the worst ways. Instead of, "What's the point now?" It doesn't matter anymore. It's too late to change anything. Say, "There's still time, and I'm still here. My story isn't over yet. If I have today, I still have purpose." Life doesn't end at 70. It shifts, deepens, and asks new questions. You don't need a big mission. Sometimes just a conversation, a gesture, or a moment of joy is the point. Let's quickly recap the 5 phrases you should stop saying after 70. "I'm too old for that." Limits your growth before you even try. "My memory just isn't what it used to be." Undermines your mind, even if it's still strong. "At my age, I can't complain." Silences your voice when it needs to be heard. "I've made too many mistakes." Turns experience into shame instead of wisdom. "What's the point now?" Cancels the future before it even arrives. Each of these phrases might seem small, but words shape beliefs. Beliefs shape actions, and actions shape your life. If any of these phrases sounded familiar, don't feel bad. Feel empowered, because now you can shift them. Now you can speak with strength, hope, and dignity, the way you deserve. Comment below. Which phrase have you caught yourself saying? And what will you say instead from now on? And if this video helped, inspired, or challenged you, subscribe to Longevity Talks for more insights that help you live longer. And better, you're still here. And that means your words still matter. Choose them well. They shape your future. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.